The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys!
Blowing out of the backfield, exploding down the sideline.
This is Hangin' with the Boys, presented by Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings. Now, your hosts, Nate Newton, Kurt Daniels, Jesse Holley, and Shannon Gross.
Victory Monday! You're looking live at Tostitos Championship Plaza outside Ford Center at the Star in Frisco, Texas, where it's finally dry.
Woo!
But it's 46 degrees and windy. The
Hoodie
high
weather.
is 49. The low is 36. Oh, man.
That is Shannon. He is Nate. This is Kurt. Welcome back. I am Jesse Holly. In the back is Kurt Bean. Together we make Hanging with the Boys, the sports talk equivalent of Braille. People feel us.
Did you call him Kurt Beam?
No, Chris Bean. Did I call him Chris Bean?
I think you called him Kurt.
You call me Kurt Beam. But
Kurt
okay.
Bean? Same thing. Chris,
like
Kurt. Kurt Beam. Beam me up, Kurt. Chris Bean.
Haven't heard that one before.
Yeah.
I kind of like that. Kurt Beam. It's a good name. Each and every day we're brought to you by Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings. Free Brandon Cooks.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
2 weeks in a row. And he got a long catch of 25 yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
We all blew the pod pick. Henderson Jr. had a 32-yard
Screen.
play from scrimmage.
Yeah.
So we blew that. And Kurt, congratulations. You were closest on the score.
Hey,
you were
all
off
right.
by 12 points. You had 35-24 Cowboys victory. So
All right, take it.
calling in from the toilet on Friday.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
you know.
How you feeling? You all right?
Yeah, I'm doing much better.
Yeah?
Thank you. Yeah.
You walk a little slower. You gotta keep them cheeks clenched.
We was asking people to pray for you on Friday.
Yeah, you bring it up to the pastor. And I'm like, oh, come on.
You know ain't nothing sacred on this show, especially if Nate gets involved.
Oh.
You know we talk about everything. Nate, how you doing today? You ain't got much to say, do you? You ready to talk about Philly?
You called it, Nate.
I had no.
Pat
Y'all
yourself
can
on the
have
back.
it. Y'all can no.
Pat
y'all
yourself
can have
on the
it.
back. You
I
said
have
it earlier in the week.
I have 3 names.
You said,
I have
"No, this
3
gonna be a
names.
blowout, dog. This gonna be a blowout, dog. I'm telling you, dog.
right.
This gonna be a blowout."
What's your
I
name?
have
Cowboys by
3
6.
names.
Yeah, Cowboys by 6. Yeah, that's a blowout. It's 1. If you go 6, that's a blowout.
Yep.
I have 3 names. Yeah, go ahead on, Jess. Man, I'm liking your excitement.
No, you got 3 names. I don't want. I don't trust me. I don't want to get in your way.
Fletcher Cox,
Oh, here we go.
Jalen Carter,
Who may not play?
and Jordan Davis. I hope he don't. I really hope he don't. That's all I got to say. Hey, man, y'all tell me how it happened. Tell me how it happened, Jess.
You watched
This
it.
victory. Yeah, I watched it.
Is this team? Are we going to deal with this the rest of the year? Boom or bust? Because there hasn't been a close game other than last week.
Yeah.
It's either you blow them out and you smoke them, or you get smoked. And man, the league looks a lot different this week than it did 3 weeks ago, doesn't it?
Sure does.
So who really put more into the Cowboys 49ers game? Do you think the 49ers put a little bit too much of us?
Maybe the Cowboys beat them up because they.
Maybe they got beat up, got tired of beating us.
And did I look at the standings right? Seattle is first in their division now
All right, I haven't checked. Let me check.
Are they?
at 5-2, I think.
Yeah.
You did. You
Yeah.
did.
You saw it right.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. And guess
If
who we
it-
They
played?
are 5-2.
yeah.
Guess who we played?
If we
Mm-hmm.
if it ended today, San Francisco would have to go to Detroit, which would be a good game.
Wow.
That would be a good physical football game.
Too bad there's only
We would
what,
have to
10
go to
weeks
Atlanta.
left?
We might have to go to Atlanta.
Yes.
Oh, I'll take that all
I would
day.
take that all day.
Atlanta's in the playoffs as of today.
Yes.
Well, the division they're in.
Yeah.
They're 4-4. and
That division will have a playoff appearance with a losing record, probably.
Again, they
Yeah.
did that once in the
Yeah.
last 5 years. Jeez, what'd you guys take away from that? I mean, it's hard to evaluate games when
Yeah.
your defense does that, and they've done that. What, 3 games this year? 3 games where they've dominated on defense, and I mean that's got to make. I mean, I don't want to. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to go down that road.
Get hype, man. I mean,
I'm hype.
Get hype. I'm hype, but not about the Rams, because we was getting hyped about the Cardinals, got drugged by the Cardinals, and a week or 2 later we get drugged by the 49ers. I'm hyped about this game because it's an NFC East game, but I just know I got to be patient and wait on Wednesday.
To me, it looked like though that maybe they're
2 days.
Oh, yeah, I got to wait to win. But win, I'm going off. Come on, Jack.
To me, it looked like okay.
Kurt's been out. Let Kurt talk.
Oh, okay.
Wait a minute.
You don't care
What's
what
going
I
on?
say.
No,
do you?
no, 1 out of 3.
Here.
1 out of 3.
What's going on with this show?
1 out of 3. Go ahead. I'm
Jesse's
sorry.
letting Kurt talk, sacrificing his time.
Up against Nate's wishes here.
I know, right? Go ahead.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Anytime. You know, I got your back. We in this together. You know, we always in this together.
I just have one sentence to say, then you guys can go about your business. But to me, that game showed that maybe this offense is finally starting to figure it out. You know, they're getting Cooks involved. And they're getting Ferguson involved. Dak's using his legs more to his advantage. They're finally feeding CD. I mean, is this just a bad Rams team, or is this offense really, truly starting to kind of figure out what's going on?
Or what I was actually going to say earlier, I'll go ahead and say it since you brought it up.
Okay.
Did the offense look so good because there was no pressure on them, and it was just like,
After the first 5 plays.
yeah.
The start wasn't so great.
Did y'all when that game started just kind of drop your head and go, oh Lord, this is not going to be a good day?
Thank God for phantom calls.
First 3 drop backs were all sacks.
All sacks.
Yeah, that was.
Thanks for a phantom
Did
call,
did they fix it? How did they fix that? Because it did not look good at all the first series.
And you heard Coach McCarthy say after the game that he said, man, I thought my game plan was blown because they wanted to throw the ball. Mm-hmm. They literally wanted to throw the ball. And even when they got sacked, they just kept throwing the ball. And they found CD. They got going. They got clicking. It seemed like everything started opening up. They kind of got, as the game went on, it loosened up, and Tony was able to run a little bit more. But did
they fix the blocking?
I think Chuma just
for the
settled.
most part, yeah.
I think you just kind of settle in sometimes.
Yeah.
You know,
had the yips a little bit.
You get excited. You know, you get excited. This is a big moment because from what I'm hearing, Tyron thought he was going to play on Sunday, and it wasn't until moments before the game. Now, I could be completely wrong. My sources could be completely off, but my sources are telling me that Tyron, he thought. Because, you know, he went out there early like his normal self. Like, it wasn't like I'm going, you know, he thought that coming into that game that he was going to play.
They couldn't get that towel hot enough. Huh?
They couldn't get that towel hot enough for that neck. And so I guess, you know, when you learn that you can possibly be playing on Friday or Saturday and then the game time comes, you're like, oh, I am starting. Okay. You know, it kind of gives you a little bit of nervous energy. And I thought, initially, the Rams came out and wanted to do what they did, and I think once they got past that phantom call, which could have took the game a completely different. Like I'm never into the the refs calling, no calling, whatever it may be, but that's a call that can take this game a completely different way. That third and long, what they call the illegal touching down the field, which is
the little get off being
right, yeah, slight reroute. Because now, if that doesn't get called, it's a sack. They are punting the ball, and it could be a completely different outcome. They rebounded from that, and you saw kind of after that they settled in. They go down and score a touchdown, and that was all she wrote after that. Then it was like an 8-minute period where it just rained everything in the Cowboys' favor. The block punt,
it was
pick
like
six,
a 3-minute period.
Yeah, it was
touchdown, block, touchdown. I mean, it was.
So I think it just settled. It just kind of just all right. Take a deep breath. But I was like you. Like, I was like, uh-oh.
One of those days.
I was like, oh, they let Aaron Donald get going and woke up, and I was like, it's going to be a long football day for us.
So did they, to Kurt's point or Kurt's question, you think they're figuring it out on offense, or was this just a byproduct of having such a big lead, everything seemed to be working?
You know, the crazy thing is that figuring it out means get the ball to my best players. That's it.
It's that simple.
It's that simple. It's literally that simple. We early in the year, the Cowboys were looking and trying to hey, we're going to take profit. We're going to distribute the ball around. Everyone's going to get a little bit of the money. And it was like, yeah, that's not quite getting us going. And I know the Cowboys wanted to. Mike McCarthy said it many times that, we want to set up and let our defense be the one that kind of be the catalyst for this team. And you realize this just ain't quite working. Because what happens if they're not on? Mm-hmm. And the defense have kind of been inconsistent throughout the year. And when you go and you score more points, when you intentionally try and go and score points, it's like a pitcher. A pitcher, and I don't care if he's an ace, I don't care if he's a reliever, I don't care if he's a bullpen guy. Give him a few runs, they tend to pitch better overall. When I got a little bit of cushion, I tend to play a little bit better. So you want your defense to play at its maximum, give them a little cushion. Give them a 7, 10, 14-point cushion. And all of a sudden now, they're playing a little bit more free because you're not as tensed and tight or worried about, man, if we give up this touchdown, it's on. But if you got a 10-point lead, a 14-point lead, a 13, if you get a 20-point lead, now it's all go. And for this defense, their main focus, let's just be honest, they're going to rush the passer. Mm-hmm. They're not interested in really stopping the run. It's a byproduct because you got to play defense. But their main focus and interest is we want to pin our ears back and go get the quarterback. That is what they're good at. That's what they're built to do. That's what they've done really well. And the result of that leads to pick sixes and turnovers on the back end. You give a team a lead, and now you kind of know that the opposing offense has to drop back and pass. That is the perfect way to set this defense up. And I think Mike kind of realized that. Even going back to last week with the Chargers, you're starting to see that thing get going a little bit offensively. And, if this is the way that they want to do business, I think it's the best way to do business.
I mean, everything was going right. Cable even caught a punt.
He caught one, yeah. It was on national TV and everything. That's okay,
the head of security for the team.
Spiked the ball.
Yeah.
Like they said on the broadcast, I think that, the players were cheering because the punt was bad, and they showed the replay. Cable,
caught it right out of the air.
Brought it in. That's what everybody was cheering about. So I question for you guys, Turpin. Bad dude. Bad little dude.
There you go. Capping. There you go. Always putting the cape on for the small people. Go ahead.
Of
do
course.
Your thing.
Anytime a little man in the NFL
100%
can get after it.
I'm going to let you finish.
Go
I'm going to Kanye you right quick. I'm going to let you finish your thought. I'm gonna let
After I interrupt.
And this is not me gloating, but I told y'all. Going to be a lot of MPs for your other little man. A lot of DMPs.
Yeah, didn't dress, did he?
I told y'all it's going to be a lot of DM. You can't be that small and not play on special teams. They're not just going to let this dude be a number 3 running back and just stand on the sideline in a uniform. Those jerseys on game day are far too precious for you to have a guy who stands there, and not an offensive lineman, who just stands there and doesn't participate on anything.
Yeah. Was that his decision to run out of the end zone 9 yards deep?
1, 2, 3.
Or was that?
Thank you. I told you, I'm taking it whenever I can get it. Life is hard out here. I don't get much credit when I leave out of this
Good
studio.
thing he got some long arms.
Listen, life is hard for me out here. I don't get much. People don't tell me much often. Good job, Jess.
I gotta give it to you. I gotta get out with to you.
My daddy's left me on the porch for a while. Listen, I'm working through the trauma.
I gotta get validated.
I gotta get somewhere. I gotta get. If y'all ain't gonna do it, I'll do it myself.
I was just waiting to see how long you was gonna go before you.
I got some more. Don't worry.
I was looking for the little fella. I was like, wait, little fella. I said, and I'm saying, how long is it going to be before Jess?
When's he going to be?
I was waiting 2 games in a row. Like I told y'all, I was waiting for another one.
13 and a half minutes.
I was waiting for the second game. I was like, I told y'all. But go ahead, Turpin.
Was that his decision to run the ball out, or was that Fossil just like, dude, we're so far up, just wherever, just go. If you catch it, just take it out.
Most of the time, there's a 5-yard deep rule.
Right,
for kickoff and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Like if you're 5 yard, like if you're in the middle of the end zone, that's kind of 5 yards. Mm-hmm. Anything, if you have to step back, let it go. But then every now and again, a guy will take it out of the end zone and hope that he can get a big return. And if he doesn't, then you come to the sideline and you go, all right. That was on me.
Yeah.
But a coach will give you one. Like he'll give you one when you feel like there may be something. And I do think that Fossil and his special teams, the way that he set things up, he felt like he had an advantage. The block punt, the big return that got called back because of the Nashon Wright holding. Mm-hmm. I think Bones Fossil thought to himself, we got something here. Like we can have a major return on these guys. And so, you know, and you don't know you're going to score a 40 burger on somebody. 33 points? 43 points.
Mm-hmm.
So those opportunities are limited when you get a chance to return the football, or whatever it may be on the opposite side of things at 20 points. So I think if you felt that way and y'all practiced it and y'all talked about it, that's one of those things you go, well, we're blowing these jokers out. They may not score many points, so we may not get the opportunity again. Let me go ahead and bring one out from 9 yards deep.
I love him, but he makes me nervous. Like
anybody who brings it out of the end zone.
That, and then the false start, and then there's just little things here and there where I just feel like at some point there's going to be a mistake this year. But I mean, it's risk reward. I think what you get with him is worth it.
Shannon, I love you. I love you to death because you know how many fans are thinking how he's thinking today, even though we just beat the britches.
You got to find something wrong, man.
My wife said something today. I looked at my wife. Between you and Shannon, baby. Between you and Shannon, y'all keep the pulse on the fans. Believe that. I mean, just enjoy this win and hope that these guys is ready. You know what I'm saying? For the as they use in basketball, the force. The force with which this new team is coming with, we got to meet force with force, man. And that's what I'm sitting here. Jess, let's go. We need you today. You and your sidekick, Dumpola.
Oh, we're going to take our first break. When we come back, we'll check on Kurt. Pray for Kurt in the break.
Yeah.
Don't hang with the boys.
He walking kind of tight.
Fall is here, and that means football is back, bringing all the delicious game day foods with it. As you prep for all the big games, tailgates, and watch parties, let Yo Quiero be your one-stop destination for all things home gating. Yo Quiero's fresh, flavorful, ready-to-serve guacamole made with real Hass avocados will score taste bud touchdowns as you cheer on the Cowboys. Yo Quiero's wide range of mouthwatering and versatile products can be found in your local grocery store's produce or deli section. Grab some today.
Star Sports Tours is the only official fan travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys, offering exclusive game weekend travel packages with pre-game sideline access and photo ops with current players, cheerleaders, and Cowboy legends. You want to stay at a team hotel, attend the best tailgate party in Texas, tour the Star, and talk X's and O's with me, Everson Walls? With Star Sports Tours, you can. Visit cowboystravel.com to book your travel package today.
SeatGeek has your back no matter what kind of Cowboys fan you are. So whether you're a diehard fan or a don't really care fan, a we got 'em next time fan or we'll never win again fan, a here for the tailgate fan or a first one through the gates fan, SeatGeek not only makes buying and selling tickets easier than ever before, they made just about everything else easier too. So whether you're a here every week fan or haven't been here in years fan, SeatGeek has you covered. Download the SeatGeek app today. SeatGeek, your ticket to great Dallas Cowboys seats.
How's Wingstop sound? Crispy, juicy, classic wings. Made to order, cooked to perfection. And sauced and tossed in those 11 soul-satisfying flavors. Paired with hand-cut seasoned fries, house-made honey mustard, blue cheese, or signature Wingstop ranch. And, of course, spicy Cajun fried corn. I think you've heard enough. Get your flavor delivered at wingstop.com.
Back to Hanging with the Boys.
Welcome back to the show, Victory Monday. The second segment is brought to you each and every day by blockchain.com. Thank you, blockchain.com. All right.
You all right over there?
No,
He's just ready for Wednesday.
I thought Jalen Carter was coming at me.
He cannot wait to talk about it.
But, here's the funny thing. Is like, Nate always gets on me. You know what I'm saying? He always gets on me and Kurt because Kurt and I agree. But even you, Nate, you agree with me as well. I've said for a long time, for this Cowboys team, if they're going to be good.
Here's number 2.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me get through.
Yeah, if they're going to be good, to do what? I said this back in training camp. Get the ball at 88, right?
Yeah.
He belongs in the conversation.
I was riding with you.
Yeah, I know.
Man.
Like so much so, I even got a clip of Nate of you agreeing with me about CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah. Now, CeeDee Lamb, make no doubt about it. He's coming and he's coming strong.
What?
What?
What is CeeDee Lamb doing?
Stop.
What is CeeDee? What is CeeDee? What did you say?
Can we say that again? Can we see that again? Can we see that clip again?
What happened? What happened? What did CeeDee?
Was this in the show yesterday?
Yesterday.
Come on, show it.
Pre-game or post-game?
Post-game.
Post-game, show it again.
Jeez.
CeeDee Lamb. Make no doubt about it. He's coming and he's coming strong.
Oh my goodness!
Wow.
Where is?
Oh man! We didn't get it to the third
1,
segment.
2, 3.
Wow! Thank you, Chris, for that
Chris,
wonderful.
you ain't right, Chris.
For that wonderful clip.
I should have knew
Hey, yo.
something was coming when he told me to stand by and made sure he called my name out.
Man,
He did.
You. That was strong.
Strong.
Shout out to CeeDee
Make me do
Lamb.
extra work back.
Yeah, shout out to CeeDee
That
Lamb.
was sweet. Hey, but hey, that was pretty good. That was pretty good. Let me ask you. I want to make sure I think. Well, let me ask this question though, fellas.
We still got 25 minutes left in the show, guys.
What was the biggest thing in that game for you yesterday that gives you hope coming into this week? What was the biggest thing?
I think the biggest thing for me, pause. The biggest thing for me coming into this game was that Dak and CeeDee Lamb are finding that chemistry. No, honestly, like Dak and CeeDee are finding that chemistry.
What took so long?
There was something missing there. I don't know. I think Mike McCarthy began to overcorrect as this season came into play, and Dak, who is such a good soldier, like he's not one of those dudes who will buck the system. I truly believe one of the reasons why Mike McCarthy and Aaron Rodgers kind of started to butt heads a little bit as his tenure ended in Green Bay was because Aaron was one of those guys, once he got enough information and felt like, I know this thing a little bit better than you, I'm playing. I think Aaron was out there just doing his own thing, changing the plays. Like, no, why would you make that call? And Dak is the complete opposite. Dak is more so, all right, if you call it, then. But I watched yesterday, and you saw the command that Dak had at the line of scrimmage. You saw him come up there.
He was talking a lot yesterday.
Re-ID the mic, change plays. And I think that was the conversation between he and Mike McCarthy and Brian Schottenheimer over the break was, hey, man, when I come to the line of scrimmage, let me have a little bit more control up here. Let me get us into the right play. Teams now so much so are playing these one look pre-snap, hold that look, and then post-snap change to something else. Let me get up there. Let me double count. You know what I mean? Let me see if they can identify what they're doing. If a blitz is coming, if it's zone. You saw the motion being added into the play, the different formations. That gives Dak Prescott a different picture at the line of scrimmage. If they're going to keep that up, I think that bodes well better for this offense. And then at the end of the day, they said, you know what? I'm going to find this guy over here, number 88, who is one of the best receivers in the National Football League, and I'm going to give him the ball a lot. I'm going to find him on multiple occasions. We're going to call things that the matchup dictates that he is getting the football. And it's not a forcing thing. It's simple math. 1 + 1 is 2. He's really good. They aren't really good. Let me get the football in his hands and see what he can do. To the tune of 12 catches, 158 yards, and 2 touchdowns. All of those have been career highs for CeeDee Lamb. Catches and receptions, and he tied his career high for 2 touchdowns in the game.
And they went downfield 11 times. 5 plays for 20 or more yards. That's what we've been asking for.
Yeah.
All they needed to do was bring Ice Jackson on board.
Ice Jackson. Whatever that was.
Whoever that is.
That's what we call the line of scrimmage. Ice Jackson. I don't know what that means.
Here we go. Ice Jackson.
Ice Jackson.
Here we go.
I guess it's an ISO play. We're doing an ISO. ISO!
What were we saying, Kurt? I'm going to interrupt you.
Well, no.
Purple looks good
those,
on you, by the way.
Oh,
It's a good color on you.
Appreciate that. I'm trying to hang in with you guys.
Let's go. You got it, man.
Along those same lines, I just think that you're seeing a little bit more vertical threat than we have. I mean, not just CeeDee Lamb, but you're getting Cooks. His last 2 games have been his 2 best.
19 to 25 yesterday. That was sweet. 19-yard catch and a 25-yard catch.
Another touchdown.
Nice.
I mean, so you're starting to see. To me, it was just so much short game. You know, they could really stack up on the line. The run game was getting nowhere. They needed to spread it out a little more, and whether that was McCarthy's play calling or Dak knowing where to look, I'm not sure, but it's nice to see them kind of provide that downfield threat a little more.
I agree. 100%. This is a form of the international football that a lot of teams are trying to do, still trying to get the ball down the field. But getting the ball into your best players' hands is one of the things that, you know, there's a reason why he was drafted in the first round. You didn't draft him in the first round to make him an other, right? Like, you didn't give him 88 to make him an other. No, you gave him 88. You drafted him that high because you thought very highly of him. Then act accordingly.
And you remember that draft so clearly because it didn't matter who they targeted on offense. That was supposed to have been a defense and defense only first 2 picks. And that's all they talk about. We don't care who fall. We need a defensive end, remember?
Yeah.
And CD fell there, and everything just changed. Yeah, y'all remember that draft?
Yes.
I mean, it was like, we don't care. And from that point on, they really started taking the best player. From that CD draft and the couple of drafts, they have taken the best player.
Except in the second round. I don't know about the second round picks.
No, I'm with you on that, but I'm just saying they've tried to think. But
they treat the second round pick like a 5th round pick. Let's just throw anything at the second round pick. Well, if it sticks, it sticks. You're like, God, dog, let's get some better players in that second round.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
When you look at their team on, like, just from a receiving standpoint, like, you're like, we're in trouble. Like, those guys can catch. They can run. They can throw the Rams. Yeah. But then it just doesn't. And then you got Aaron Donald on the other side, and it just doesn't translate. Like, it just didn't. It didn't make sense that they weren't able to put up the points.
Well, the tail of what is it called?
Tail of the tape.
Tail of the tape. When it comes, thank you, Kurt. When it comes to Matthew Stafford, there's 2 sides to Matthew Stafford. There's the unpressured Matthew Stafford, which makes Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp very dangerous. If you notice, a lot of their routes that they run with both of those guys, 12, 15, 17, 18, 20-plus yard routes. Those routes take time to develop. It's not a quick game for them. So when Matthew Stafford has time and those routes are able to develop, he's one of the best. He's a top 5 quarterback as far as completion percentage. When you pressure Matt Stafford, his completion percentage drops all the way down to 39%. He is boo-boo juice. I mean, gooch juice. After a 300-pound gooch juice after a sweaty workout in July. Wow. And the Cowboys, Dan Quinn decided that this is our mode of we're going to do this thing. We're going to pressure him. We're going to find ways to get after the quarterback because the disparity was so great about where he was when he didn't get pressure, and he still has the arm to make all the throws. Don't wish injury on anybody, but when he ended up hurting his thumb, that happens in the game, and that worked to our favor. But when you looked at the tape and the film and the numbers for Matthew Stafford, he is 2 completely different players when he's able to sit in the pocket and deliver the ball down the football field, opposed to when you get a little bit of pressure on him. The Cowboy decided to pressure him. He turned into the pumpkin and not the beautiful carriage, and the Cowboys capitalized on it.
What about our kicker? We feel okay about our kicker now?
I've never had problems with that, so.
It's like you just don't care about kickers. So.
No, I just kick the ball through the uprights like this dude doing it. I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, don't make this more than what it is. You know.
He's been solid.
He's been real solid.
He hasn't missed yet, has he?
No.
He ain't been running.
Leaky.
I think it's 18 in a row.
Yeah,
18 in a row.
The one thing we were worried about coming out of training camp.
Yeah.
And then Micah looks like he's back on track. Is DeMarcus I'm all over the place today, sorry. Is DeMarcus Lawrence the most underrated defensive player in the league?
And on our team.
Like, you don't even hear about him because 11's on that side of the ball. And DaRon Bland now.
I think Pro Football Focus has him 3rd among edge rushers.
Really? That high?
Yeah, D-Law does everything you want him to do. It's just Micah gets the sacks.
Right.
We always, anybody that plays in the defensive front it's always the new metric has been out now, like pressures, right? That's the new kind of sexy term that people use. But make no mistake about it, the Defensive Player of the Year award goes to the guy who either gets a crap ton of interceptions or a crap ton of sacks. And that's the one area where this D-Law just hasn't been able to really have his numbers grow. But if you compared him to Micah as well, at every other category, D-Law is probably either winning or up there with the best in the National Football League. It's just that 11 gets to the quarterback faster. Other guys get to the quarterback faster than what D-Law is doing. But he's done everything else you've asked him to do in the run game,
I was going to say,
pressure
he's
game.
been playing the run game really good this year.
He is the one consistent thing that's been on that defense.
If you look at Pro Football Focus rankings, he's actually 5th, but he's number 1 in run defense among edge rushers. First is Myles Garrett, second Nick Bosa, third T.J. Watt, 4th Max Crosby, 5th DeMarcus Lawrence.
That's some pretty good company there.
Those are all the guys who will be
6th.
So. Those are all the guys who will be in the Defensive Player of the Year conversation right there.
Like, and you don't ever hear nothing. They've got him ranked higher than Micah.
Micah's 6th. Yep.
So you got the 5th and
right there,
5th and 6th edge rushers or edge players on your team. That's not bad.
Not bad.
All right, let's take another break. When we come back, we'll talk more football on Hanging with the Boys.
I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys.
And they snap it to Prescott, who looks right. It's not there. He escapes left. He'll run for a first down.
Just like football, when it comes to crypto, it's important to have a team you can trust. With blockchain.com, I know I'm in good hands. Since 2011, they've been trusted by millions around the world to buy, sell, and trade cryptocurrency.
Prescott's going to run this himself. Run it up the middle, and he scores.
Whether you're new to crypto or an active trader, they've got you covered. What are you waiting for? Get started at blockchain.com.
How's Wingstop sound? Crispy, juicy, classic wings. Made to order, cooked to perfection. And sauced and tossed in those 11 soul-satisfying flavors. Paired with hand-cut seasoned fries, house-made honey mustard, blue cheese, or signature Wingstop ranch. And, of course, spicy Cajun fried corn. I think you've heard enough. Get your flavor delivered at wingstop.com.
SeatGeek has your back no matter what kind of Cowboys fan you are. So whether you're a diehard fan or a don't really care fan, a we got 'em next time fan or we'll never win again fan, a here for the tailgate fan or a first one through the gates fan, SeatGeek not only makes buying and selling tickets easier than ever before, they make just about everything else easier too. So whether you're a here every week fan or haven't been here in years fan, SeatGeek has you covered. Download the SeatGeek app today. SeatGeek, your ticket to great Dallas Cowboys seats.
James Wright here, your 2022 Dallas Cowboys Fan of the Year. You know how much I love my Cowboys, and I am thrilled to be talking to you about the 2023 Fan of the Year award presented by Captain Morgan. We're looking for the ultimate Cowboys fan to spice up the game. That means you eat, sleep, and breathe the Dallas Cowboys. If that's you, or if you know someone like me, then go to DallasCowboys.com/fan of the year, and you could win tickets to Super Bowl 58 and so much more. Enter today.
Back to Hanging with the Boys.
Welcome back to Victory Monday on Hanging with the Boys. Third segment each and every day is brought to you by Jigsaw, the proud dating partner of the Dallas Cowboys. And what you got, Kurt?
Big trade going down.
Uh-oh. Ooh.
Is the Eagles involved?
Breaking
Please say
news.
no.
Giants are sending Leonard Williams to the Seahawks.
Ooh,
That's a good spot for him.
That is a great spot for
Leonard
him.
Williams. Isn't that Quentin's brother?
No.
Yeah, aren't they way? Yeah. No.
No.
Sorry.
Quentin Williams?
Quentin, his brother, plays with him on the Jets. That's from the Giants.
Oh, my bad.
You
It's all
put
good, brother.
you put on Nate.
You did pull over Nate right
My
there.
bad. We learned a new term. I learned a new term in the break.
Me too.
Chris, enlighten us. Tell us what you told us in the break.
That this game was a scoregami, which is a game that the score is the first time it's ever happened in the NFL, 43-20.
Scoregami.
It's called scoregami.
I would have thought that there would have been a 43-20 score before.
Never in
In the
100
history
years of football.
Wow. That's crazy. And you said that's the second one of the year?
Yeah, it's the second scoregami of the year. The first one was the 70-20.
Wow,
Hold on. Let
will
me
make
get this
sense.
right, man. Leonard Williams played what position?
Defensive line.
Defensive tackle.
For the
Tackle for the Giants. Now he's going to Seattle.
And who got him?
Seattle.
The Seahawks.
And we finna get.
We have to play them on Thursday, November 30th.
The first place Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah.
Y'all, our Achilles heel this year is interior defensive line.
This year. Last
I'm
year?
talking about this
Year before that?
This year. No,
Year
I'm talking
before
about
that?
playing against us. I'm talking about playing against us. Not that we need one. Playing against us. What did they give up, a first and a second for him, or a third?
2024 second rounder and a 2025 fifth. This is according to Ian Rappaport.
A second round.
Fifth.
That's all they had to give up.
But here's the thing, and I think sometimes we have to kind of sometimes take this in consideration, because we see these deals go down, and we hear them like, oh, how this, how that. There are certain teams and general managers
that ain't
and
gonna
owners
trade with us.
that won't trade with the Cowboys.
Yeah, really?
Like, that's just it. There are certain teams that's like, you know what? We're not going to give the Cowboys a chance to
Get better.
Now, for whatever reason that may be, now that's not every single team, but sometimes it takes two to tango. It takes two to get busy, and if you don't have, and sometimes it's also agents, right? A certain agent can look up and, you may have a certain players on your team, and you're kind of like trying to work these deals, and a team will work with you and teams will work with you because they know that you got players on their team and their contracts are coming up. So there's a lot that goes behind the scenes on things of that matter. So sometimes the Cowboys don't move their feet because they don't want to move their feet. They feel like, and maybe this win sometimes, because football is a what have you done for me lately? When you win like this, you kind of feel good about your team. You go, if this team shows up every single week like that, we're good, right? We're good. And so I don't have to make a trade. If it ended like the Niners game, I'm sure if the trade deadline after the Niners game was on our heels, there may have been a significant trade there, because you feel a little different after you get your butt whooped, opposed to you feel when you whoop somebody else's butt. So there's a lot of contributing factors into pulling off trades like that. I'm sure the Giants, if the Cowboys call with that very same deal, I don't know if the Giants do it.
And I agree with you, Jess. And like I said, I ain't saying for us to trade, but I'm saying right about now, we don't need to be facing interior, muscle-bound, grotesque, I will eat you up defensive linemen, because we trying to get our offensive line healthy. So we don't need to just continue to run into these brick walls, is what I'm saying.
Maybe we need to trade for an offensive lineman.
When's the trade deadline? Tomorrow?
We ain't got enough. We do not have enough.
That's the problem. We'd have to give up a lot. But
Yeah, we don't have enough to get that quality guy. We don't. So
We don't have a lot of picks next year either.
Yeah.
We've given a couple away.
we got to dance, man. We got to dance.
So, interesting stat we were talking about in the break. DaRon Bland, up until CD decided to ball out.
Party.
Yeah. He had more touchdown receptions than anybody on the Cowboys team. More than Tyler Lockett, Devontae Smith, Jalen Waddle. And there's one that I'm missing. One other big name receiver. DaRon Bland has more touchdowns than those guys.
It was Ridley.
Calvin Ridley.
Calvin Ridley.
It's crazy. Not just interceptions, pick sixes.
Shout out to Al Harris.
Yes.
I love Al.
I talked to Al. I talked to him last week about this very same thing, man. And I said, Coach, man, because I was asking what his career path, and he was telling me that you don't always have to be a defensive coordinator, because, he's a defensive back coach. But he said if he can go through this process and skip that, he will, because he think by him being who he is, and his biggest asset is to connect with the players. And he said, you not only got to teach the scheme to the players and get them to buy in, he said, but you can't be afraid as a coach to say, hey, man, that's a possible play that you can make. Now, you ain't going to tell everybody because the plays Jess can make, can't make.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't tell everybody, but hey, man, put a player. He said sometimes you have to put a player in position and make him aware that this is a play to be made because the way the money is being given out these days, players want to make these plays so they can distinguish who they are. And that's why we kind of had a disgruntled CD there kind of earlier. So, and then for this kid to be doing what he's doing, it just make me think about the conversations that we had with Al Harris, man. Yeah. He's, and his goal is, and he ain't sitting on his laurels. His goal too is like, in a couple of years, my name is gonna be, if I can keep getting these two dudes, Diggs and Bland and other young talent, to show up big, his name will come up in them coaching circles.
What do you do when Diggs comes back? Does it matter who plays what side?
No, Diggs goes back. Diggs goes back
to his spot, and then he goes over to Gilmore's.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So you.
Yeah.
Yeah, he goes over to Gilmore.
Diggs is a player where he ain't getting Wally Pipp. Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Give him 4 or 5 years.
A little bit more, but he ain't getting Wally Pipp. When the moment
he's ready
to go.
Yeah.
Is the moment whoever's
starts.
in that spot, they go
moves.
Hey man, thank you for your service. We appreciate you.
You did a great job.
You did a great job, and we appreciate that. But you're going on the other side, so prepare to go over there, and we now know that you have position flexibility. Congratulations! But the minute that Diggs is ready to go, he goes back to that spot.
You know what's so amazing about what Bland is doing? He was a better slot receiver,
slot corner.
So if he goes back into that, even if he, if they say, "Hey man, can you do this?" You know how much better he gonna be. Because he's going to be so mentally strong. You know how much better he going to be? Because he going to know everything about that outside. So he can – does that matter, Jess?
No, it does matter. Yeah. Those are two – like you hear nickel, dime cornerback playing that slot. That is a tough spot to play.
Yes, it is.
Because you don't have – when you're playing the slot, what's different from playing the slot than is playing outside cornerback is the outside cornerback spot, for sure I got the sideline. If nothing else, I have this 12th man that I can work with, right? In the slot, it's you. That's it. He got two-way go. He can go shallow. He can go, vertical. He can go in. He can go out. He can go intermediate. I mean, it's all the possibilities are there when you're playing in the slot. So you got to be able to, and the slot guys are normally some of the smaller, more quicker, route runnery type players. So I got to deal with that now. I got to deal with meshes. I got to deal with, a bunch of just trash, I got to beat my own linebackers because they're in the way. I got to make sure the safety is over the top for certain situations. So playing that slot, it can be a headache. It can be an absolute headache. And then the way that the speed is being grown in the National Football League, everybody fast. And so if I got a two-way go and I got 53 in the third on the other side of the field where I can run away from dudes, to have a guy that's being able to press up inside, to be able to play coverage, to be able to play multiple moves in that slot, that's an impressive young man. And position flexibility is so important in this league. When you're not a first-round guy, you're not an all-pro guy where, you get to say, I'm staying right here. When you look at a guy like Marquise Bell, position flexibility. When you look at a guy like Jaron Kurtz, position flexibility. When you look at a guy like DaRon Bland, playing inside the nickel, playing outside, regular corner, position flexibility. That helps you keep a job. And then you look at a guy like Dan Quinn, when he is the person that's your sponsor, when y'all go into that room and he's saying, oh, no, 26, I need 26. Your contractor talked about differently. And a guy like Dan Quinn, when he goes off somewhere else and become a head coach, guess what? He's like, 26 is a guy I know I can use and play in multiple positions. So you always keep a job and longevity in the league. If Al Harris goes and be a defensive coordinator somewhere and you get released, now he's looking at, hey, bring this dude in. This is a guy that I coached up. This is a guy who I know can do X, Y, and Z. And so we're able to do those things. So being able to have position flexibility is key in the National Football League.
I mean, you just brought his name up. I'm surprised how well Marquise Bell's been playing in that position. As a linebacker, I mean, I was worried about, I'm worried he'd have the size to handle that position, but he's been solid. Thanks for listening.
We just want to make sure we give you your respect, Kurt. Yeah, we just want to. Hey, everything you said was right. Is it correct, Jess? I mean, everything you said was right.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. My boy always correct.
I can't believe Jesse left you on the porch
like that. But I tell you what, though.
I just got finished talking. He talked. It's not supposed to come back to me. One of y'all is supposed to.
That's why I jumped on in because I'm going to say something because I'm looking.
I think he was thinking, you went to
Florida A&M. Yeah. I just be looking, man. I see. The reason I just be looking because I'm
Fletcher Cox,
for the first time
Brandon Graham
in a long time. I ain't just going overboard about no victory, But boy, I'm gonna be excited come Wednesday. When I say my little hot 2 words Wednesday, turn it over to Jess, all I want to be saying is amen. Preach, Jess. All right, go.
I ain't coming in on Wednesday.
Why not?
No, I'm lying. I just want to see what he was going to say.
I was just going to say, I know he lying. Because he didn't say it with no conviction.
I'm gonna leave it up to you, Nate.
I'll be ready. I'll be ready with three names. Please block these 3 names. No matter what you do, please block these 3 names. We will win the game if you block these 3 names.
Can't wait to talk about it. All right, fellas. Good stuff. Man. Victory Monday. Nate, Jesse, Kurt, Chris, thanks for keeping us on the air. Jazz, thanks for keeping Chris company.
Loosening up, tightening up.
Josh, thanks for keeping the show on all the channels. William, still don't know what you do, man, but glad you're here. Thanks for taking a ride with us. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll take, phone calls tomorrow?
Tomorrow's Tuesday.
Maybe we'll get to more than 2
Maybe
this time.
Maybe a trade to talk about. Who knows?
Ooh. Who knows? We'll see. See you tomorrow. Same
time,
Rangers. Same place. Yeah, go Rangers. Game 3 tonight. Let's go. They're actually hockey, baseball, and basketball. All Dallas teams are playing tonight.
It's like a sportagami.
It is. Sportagami. There you go.
Like
Thanks for teaching us a new word, Chris. Appreciate that. We will see y'all tomorrow on Hanging with the Boys.
We out.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!